What's the laziest way for beginners to make money online? Cash register chimes? That's one of the most common questions I get asked, and honestly, who doesn't want to make good money with minimal effort, all while having the freedom to work from anywhere in the world? So as a millionaire businessman, I'm gonna use my knowledge to finally answer this question. As you can see, I've got this grid out in front of me. We're gonna use it to figure out which online money-making myth is truly the laziest, by judging each one in 5 categories. First up, learning curve. This is how long it takes before you're earning decent money. Ideally, we want this to be as short as possible to keep things truly lazy. Next up is fulfillment. This is all about delivering whatever it is you're selling, and we want this to be as simple as possible. Then there's scalability. This measures how easy you can grow and make more money without piling on extra work. After that, we have startup capital, or how much money you'll need to invest upfront to get going. And finally, we're looking at risk level. Higher risk usually means more stress, which even if it's easy money can drain you over time. Today, I am only going to be covering money-making methods that can realistically bring you in over a day. Cash register chimes. So, no online surveys or transcription sites. They pay next to nothing and just end up wasting your time anyway. Method 1. Freelancing. This is all about using your skills to earn money online, by working directly with clients. There are tons of skills you can choose from, including video editing, social media management, graphic design, copywriting, and website development. This is great cause you get to choose your projects and work schedule, which gives you a lot of flexibility, so it's perfect for those wanting control over when and where they work. In my opinion, the best one to focus on is video editing, as due to the rise of digital content, there's a real shortage of great editors at the moment. But the real question is, how lazy is freelancing? Well, let's have a look. For learning curve, I'm gonna say 6 months. To start making good money, you'll probably need at least this amount of time to learn and build a portfolio. The most popular skills like video editing, design, and copywriting have tons of tutorials on YouTube, which can help you level up very quickly. For fulfillment, I'm gonna say this is pretty hard. Dealing with clients one-on-one can be a bit tricky. I remember when my son was freelancing as a video editor. Every week he'd be venting about a client who kept requesting changes that he felt made the video worse. It was so frustrating for him because they just didn't get it, but he had to keep his cool, play nice, and make those changes anyway. It's tough to do, especially when you're passionate about a project and feel like someone is dragging it down.
For scalability, I'm gonna say this one is pretty limited. In freelancing, your income is tied directly to your time. This means there's a cap on your earnings. Unless you either charge higher rates or hire other people to do the work for you. The only way to scale is to build a good client base, as this will lead to steady work. You can do this on freelance sites like Upwork and Fiverr. Fiverr is ideal for beginners, as you can list services without needing to bid on jobs. Upwork might be a bit more competitive, but it often has higher paying projects. Startup capital, though, is pretty good. It's practically zero. If you already have a computer and internet access, you're nearly set. Some tools, like the Adobe Creative Suite, for design or video editing, can be a great investment. But there are free or low-cost alternatives like Canva that you get started with. Your biggest investment here is your time. Finally, for risk, this is pretty low, mainly because there are very little upfront cost, and you're directly paid for each project. The only real risk is potentially inconsistent income. So you might have to put in some effort initially to build up a steady stream of clients. So overall, this is definitely not the laziest method. However, freelancing could be a great way to start making money online, especially if you're willing to put in the time, build up your skills and a client list. Method 2. Airbnb arbitrage. This is a money-making method where you rent out a property on a long-term lease and then rent it out short-term on platforms like Airbnb. Essentially, you're acting as the middleman, taking advantage of the price difference between your long-term lease and the short-term rental rates. This could be a great way to generate passive income without having to own the property yourself. You'll need to get permission from the owner, but you'd be surprised How many landlords are okay with this? They either don't know how to operate an Airbnb or don't have the tomato do it themselves. So, how lazy is it? This one has a 1 to 3 month learning curve. Getting the hang of Airbnb arbitrage doesn't take too long. You need to spend a bit of time learning about the platform, understanding local rental laws, and getting familiar with property management. The bulk of this preparation time will be spent finding good properties. Look for places near tourist attractions, universities, or business districts. Websites like Airbnb can give you insights into rental prices and occupancy rates. You'd also need to reach out to the landlords and let them know you plan to sublet the property on Airbnb. Make sure you get their permission in writing, as you don't want them to find out later. And cancel your lease after you've put in all that hard work. Getting it up and running on Airbnb. Fulfillment is medium difficulty, while it can be a relatively hands-off way of making money.
You still have to deal with some customer issues from time to time. Guests might have questions or concerns, and you'll need to manage check-ins and cleaning. It's not as easy as just putting up a listing and forgetting about it, but it can be manageable with a good system in place. That's why it's a good idea to use management software like Guesty or Hostfully to streamline your bookings, communication, and check-ins. This will save you time and help keep your guests happy. Now, here's where it gets really exciting, because scalability is very high. One of the best parts about Airbnb arbitrage is that it's highly scalable. You can keep adding more properties to your portfolio, and there's really no limit to how many you can manage. You just have to make sure you allocate the time and resources to keep everything running smoothly. Here's the bad news, though. This is gonna require $2,000 of startup capital. This is where it gets a bit tricky. You'll need a decent amount of upfront cash to secure a lease, cover any initial furnishing costs, and possibly pay for cleaning services. Finally, risk level is pretty high. The main downside to this method is the upfront cash you need to invest. However, if you take advantage of the management tools he mentioned, it can be relatively hands-off. Saying that, I reckon we can find an even lazier option. Method 3. An eBay shop. This is a great way to make money by selling products online. You can sell anything from vintage clothing and electronics to handmade items, or even get rid of stuff you don't need. With millions of users, eBay offers a massive marketplace where you can reach potential buyers without needing to set up an actual shop in the street. But the question is, how lazy is it? Well, we're gonna find out. The learning curve for this is around about 2 weeks. Getting started with eBay is pretty straightforward. Before diving in, think about what kind of products you want to sell. Are you into vintage clothing, collectibles, electronics, or something else? You can then use eBay's search function to see what's popular and in demand in your chosen niche. Then you just need to create your eBay seller account and source your products. As I mentioned before, you can start with things in your house that you don't want anymore, or you could order items you've seen selling on eBay from Gate. This process shouldn't take more than a couple of weeks. For fulfillment, I'm gonna set this as a medium difficulty. You'll have to send your products out yourself, and you might run into some customer issues from time to time, like returns or inquiries about products. I've been running my eBay shops for years now, and in my experience, it's always better to send a replacement or issue a refund. Even if you suspect that customer is trying to scam you, it's simply better to keep your eBay account in good standing. These kinds of situations is to stress me out something rotten. However, now I've learned it is just the cost of selling items online, and there's no. It's simply better to keep your eBay account in good standing. These kinds of situations is to stress me out something rotten. However, now I've learned it is just the cost of selling items online, and there's no getting away from it. The scalability of this one is very high. You can continually add new products, and there's really no limit to how many items you can sell. As you start to make more money, you might even want to consider branching out onto other platforms like Etsy and Amazon. Alternatively, you could start various eBay shops in different niches. I'd say you need at least $1 of startup capital to get your shop off the ground. You'll need to use this initial money for stock depending on what you want to sell. $1 can be a reasonable starting point. You can find good deals at thrift stores, garage sales, or even wholesale suppliers like Gate, who I mentioned earlier. I'd say this is medium risk. This risk comes from the fact that you're putting money into stock that might not sell right away. However, if you're smart about your choice and stay on top of trends, you can really reduce that risk. I'd say the eBay shop method is winning so far, as it's a pretty lazy money-making method. However, it's lacking in a few of the categories, so let's keep going. Method 4. Affiliate marketing. This is a great way to earn money by promoting other people's products or services. You get paid a commission for every sale made throughout your referral link. It's a win-win. You help someone sell their products while earning a little something for yourself. No need to handle products or do any customer service. So let's see how this stacks up against the other methods. The learning curve for this one is super short. I'd say 1 to 2 days. All you really need to do is to sign up to different affiliate programs. You can use sites like Amazon Associates, ClickBank, and my favorite, Impact. I'd recommend going onto these sites and seeing what companies are offering the best commissions. Then you can start thinking about how you can get Pleto start using your links. For fulfillment, I'm gonna say this is very easy. Once you've shared your affiliate links, your job is pretty much done. You won't be responsible for fulfilling orders or dealing with customer complaints, which makes this one a pretty stress-free way to earn some extra cash. The scalability of this one is very high. You can promote as many products as you want and keep racking up those sales passively. In the past, the go-to strategy for scaling was paid ads on Facebook. These days, though, you make better off focusing on organic short-form content. The amount of free reach you can get is incredible. Just look at the way Andrew Tate skyrocketed in popularity. Tons of people were clipping his videos and posting them on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, all while including their affiliate links to his online course. Some of these kids were making thousands of dollars a month doing this. I'm not promoting his course,
But it's worth noting that affiliate marketing has been around for ages and is still going strong, so you can use similar tactics to earn some decent money yourself. In terms of startup capital, I'd say you'll need at least $1. You can definitely start $4, but that's assuming,